Welcome back to another episode of NewOrleans.Football presented by PJ's Coffee. I'm Nick Underhill. We're going to kind of have a little bit of a different show today. Ross Jackson's going to join us in the first segment. Me and Mike are going to play trivia in the second. Then we're going to hit the Get Gordon question of the day at the end. So I am coming to you from the Ochsner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute podcast studio here at my house. And then in the second half, we're going to be at the other one up on Vets. If you have any medical needs, make sure you check them out. Best medical care that you can get. And if you are in the market for a new car, make sure you check out my guy, Matt Bowers. He'll get you right, get you the best prices. Go to Matt. He will make you the best deal that you can get. So camp's less than a week away. We're coming up on it. Tuesday are the opening press conferences. Wednesday practice starts. There's a lot to get into in this stuff. And our first segment is going to be presented by Shough Insurance, the Earhart Agency. Make sure you check out the Earhart Agency if you were looking for Shough. They will save you money on your policies. So make sure you give my guy Ryan a call. He'll get you right. All right, let's bring in Ross. Joined now by my guy, Ross Jackson, probably my favorite non-NOF Saints content creator out there. Great daily listen, Locked On Saints. Make sure you're checking that out. Check Ross out on WWL. You turn on anything, you're going to find Ross. You don't have to look hard to find him. Probably the hardest working guy in New Orleans. Ross, training camp, less than a week away. There's a little bit of drama unfolding. We're going to see how it plays out over the next few days, but the deadline is kind of quickly approaching with Tyler Shough. He needs to sign a contract to get into camp. We see Shamar Stewart doing some weird stuff, going back to practice with his college. I don't think this one's going to be as contentious, but if a deal doesn't get done by the start of camp, all of a sudden you're looking at your rookie quarterback maybe not being on the field. It's a difference of about $1.5 million in that last year guaranteeing it. What would you do if you're Mickey Loomis?
I'm guaranteeing that extra $1.5 million. I couldn't, I'm coming at it from, hey, this ain't my money. I understand that. But if I'm Mickey Loomis and that is my money or the organization's money, that's the way that I'm going with this, man. Like, if you have the opportunity to get your rookie quarterback that's supposed to be, contending for a starting job, could potentially be the next starting quarterback for your franchise, right? Your next franchise face, if you will. $1.5 million is worth making sure that he doesn't lose opportunities to get into that development and lose steps along the way. So I'm guaranteeing that money if I have to right away.
I feel the same way. Like, me and Mike talked about it on our show on Monday, and I was kind of like, well, the Saints need to be more careful with their cap. We've been hammering them for 6-7 years about cap management and just putting it together and not wasting money. And no disrespect to Isaiah Foskey, like, if he doesn't work out, ideally you'd like to be able to cut him cleanly and not owe him, an extra million or whatever it is. But then I was driving home from that show and I just kept thinking about the point. And it's like, if you told me Tyler Shough suffered an injury in camp and you could sacrifice $7 million of cap space 3-4 years from now to get him back on the field so he's ready to play week one, I would probably do that, like, without hesitation. And now we're talking about like $1 million. Like, I think this developmental time is priceless. And it's easy for us to sit here and say it like, it's easy to go hop on Madden and do it on the simulation or whatever. I think the slippery slope is if you do it now, where's it at 3-4 years from now with the third rounders? Now, are they trying to hold out to get all their money guaranteed? Yep. Now you're on this kind of slippery slope, but man, you're talking about a rookie QB and your whole entire franchise kind of rests on this decision and the Kelvin Banks decision working. Yeah. If it's a week, if it's 2 weeks, if it's 2 days, like, I feel like I didn't like them taking the last day off of minicamp because I thought like the sacrifice of that development was a big deal. I get it. I understand it. I understand the standoff, but I think he needs to get in there. So just kind of spinning this one forward a little bit, what would your approach be like to start the season? Let's say they all get the camp time and, do you want Tyler Shough starting week one? Do you want Spencer Rattler to play the first 4 games because they're tough and Shough comes in after? Like, what's your ideal of how this all plays out in the perfect world?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fast start for this team in terms of the opponents that they have going up against those 2 NFC West opponents to open it up. But then you're also going up, or really 3 NFC West opponents to open it up. Then you end up having to go to Buffalo. Those are going to be tricky games. And those are the types of games that maybe you don't necessarily want to throw your rookie quarterback into if you have the opportunity to be able to go to somebody that has seen the field before. look, I've been on record about this already. I think that right now, from what we've seen so far during like OTAs and mandatory minicamp and stuff like that, that Spencer Rattler is the better option at this point. He's processing a little bit faster. He's seen the field before. He's played at the NFL speed and the NFL level before. I think all of that is absolutely viable. But I think it's going to end up being Tyler Shough week 1 because that was the handpicked, you know what I mean? That was the handpicked guy by the team. And you still have, 5 weeks or so, a few weeks or so of training camp plus the preseason to kind of get his legs under him and everything like that. And so I think probably the ideal situation is that you start with Spencer Rattler week 1. But I think I'm still pretty sold on the idea that the Saints, unless Tyler Shough has a really bad camp, which I just don't see happening, I'm still pretty sold on the idea that he's going to be the starter week 1. But I understand very much the impetus to put Spencer Rattler out there early since he's already had the NFL experience.
I agree with everything you said. And I think maybe by the first preseason game, like, I think there's a chance that we see Shough pull off a little bit just because of the way he's gotten better over time. And let's say that does happen. Let's say he gets there. And I'm going to have you kind of be the arbitrator on a couple different NLF debates here to see what your answers are. Let's say he does pull off on it, and he's winning. Everybody kind of knows he's winning, but you get to the beginning of the season and you have some of these really tough games going to Seattle, playing against Buffalo. Do you let somebody else eat those first 4 games to kind of put Tyler Shough in a situation where he can go in, have success right away, maybe not take the hits that are absolutely going to be coming, and just kind of start off in a place where maybe the runway and the takeoff's a little bit cleaner and you're not trying to take off through, rain and lightning and all this stuff.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I have 2 things on that. I think the first one is like we're talking about how important it is for him not to miss 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, 2 weeks of training camp. And so I think I have to apply that same logic to the regular season as well, right? Like that development opportunity of being out there and going up against an opponent that is on paper better than you are, or is a defense that's going to on paper present a challenge to you. That feels like something you probably want this guy to have the opportunity to prove that he can work his way through. So I would say that it would be appropriate of the Saints to beg patience in that situation and say, you know what, you're going to go out there, you're going to have a tough start to the season. Let's see how you handle sort of that, the adversity, right? That's always been the big thing around Kellen Moore when he talks about Tyler Shough is the amount of adversity that he's faced and that he's come out on the other side of and all those other pieces. Give him the chance to go out there and do that again. If you end up in a situation by the end of the year that you're in position to draft a quarterback, then you shouldn't have question marks about whether or not you should go and draft that quarterback. So go ahead and get as many of those questions answered. That's number 1. Number 2 for me is I also feel like the idea of saying like, hey, the first 4 opponents are a little tough. We're not going to put you out there is just as much a commentary on, or would be just as much a commentary on how the team looked at its entire offense, its offensive line, its ability to protect, its ability for its receivers to get open, its ability for its run game to take pressure off the quarterback. It's just as much a commentary on a comment on all of those things. If that were the way that they went, Tyler Shough pulled out, he was great. He pulled out into like an early lead. He looked great, all those other things. And then they were like, we're going to go with Spencer Rattler. Then I'd be worried that that's the message you'd be sending to your team or to your players, rather your personnel, if I'm the team in that case as well. Am I over exaggerating on something there? I feel like maybe I'm pulling at a thread that doesn't need to be pulled out there.
No, I mean, I think it's interesting to kind of just think about how this plays out. Like, I think one of my biggest things about I think the strongest argument for maybe waiting to go to Shough is that like once you go to him, I feel like you have to stay with him.
Sure.
Like I don't think you can go like Rattler, Shough, or Shough, Rattler, Shough. Like you start messing with his confidence a little bit. So there's a lot of stuff here that I think is kind of interesting. But I think your initial point of like that development and everything, and I think one of the biggest benefits of him is that like he's 26 years old. He's been through a million injuries. Like he probably sat at home at nights and wondered if his football career was over, and showed like the mental fortitude to fight through it and all that stuff. So getting sacked 7 times against Buffalo might not bother him the same way it would 22-year-old Tyler Shough coming into the league at that time. And I kind of harken back to what like the very first words Kellen Moore said about him is like, oh, well, like he's fought through adversity. And it's like, well, like that is kind of all these things, the off-platform throws, the big arm, the speed, like the thing you point to is kind of like his mental fortitude. So maybe he is uniquely fit for that, and maybe that's why they targeted him. I do wonder when they drafted him, like if they actually knew Derek Carr was going to retire, or it might have still been a little bit up in the air, and you're thinking like, hey, we'll draft this guy because he'll be ready to play until Derek comes back and we can develop him on the side. It is kind of, there's a lot of unanswered questions. I don't know if that timeline's as clean as maybe it's publicly been portrayed, but
I got to agree with
I
you
don't
there.
know. Yeah,
I got to agree with you there.
Moving on to the next big contract question, and this one's a few years down the road, but Garrett Wilson signs this massive contract, 4 years, $130 million. Chris Olave picked one pick behind him. I tweeted that like, hey, like this is the market, and whether he gets to it or doesn't, I think that contract elevates Chris Olave's contract.
Yeah.
How do you think this affects him, and what's kind of your temperature on the idea of signing Chris to an extension?
Yeah, I think that the new Garrett Wilson deal, 4 years, $130 million, it's at 32.5 per year.
Yeah.
I don't think that sets the floor for Chris Olave, but it certainly raises the floor for Chris Olave, right? If the floor around him was at, let's just say $20 million, it's now at $25 million, right? Like it's somewhere, whatever that might be. Really, it's probably more like in the $30 million range is kind of that now, what that floor might be. And so I think that's the initial impact, is that it just kind of raises whatever the lowest end of a Chris Olave contract might look like. I think that where I sit in terms of getting the contract done is don't rush.
Yeah.
Don't rush to get it done right now. Like now somebody else has negotiated that contract for you. And so now is not the time to go out there and say, okay, we'll either continue the negotiation talks that we're already having, or like whatever that is. And so that could be the way. That would be the first thing I would say, is like, there's no reason now to rush to get this deal done. Let him go out in 2025 and prove that he can stay on the field, and prove that is, that he can meet that market. Let him go out there on the 5th year option and potentially do that as well. I think it just kind of moves the timelines, where if the Saints were interested in saying, hey, want to get this contract done this off season, if they were even in that mold at all, which I'm not super sure that they were, it certainly tabled that for right now, and then kind of gives 2025 the opportunity to be the proving ground for Chris Olave, that he can meet whatever that market is, like you stated.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Like I broke down their 17 game averages, and obviously that's like probably what Drew Rosenhaus is doing right now to kind of manipulate the conversation in his favor. And Chris actually averages more yards, 1 touchdown less per game, and Garrett Wilson has slightly more catches, but like the numbers are indistinguishable. Like right now, the problem is obviously the concussions and all this stuff.
Right.
I think really this might be, like you said, like 2-3 years from now. So the Wilson deal kind of does set something there, but like it might be 3 more contracts after this where it changes. And look, if Chris plays healthy for 2 more years, there's actually a scenario here where Garrett Wilson signs his contract. Justin Fields isn't that good. Tyler Shough, Spencer Rattler's okay. Chris Olave actually puts up better production, and he's played 17 games, and he's in a stronger position at the end of the season. It's not completely outlandish. Now, the flip side of that is Saints might have horrible quarterback play, and Chris might have a great season on film and end up with like 800 yards because they can't get him the ball. So there's just like a lot of stuff here. If I were the Saints, I think I would take your approach. Like, I'm not rushing it. I'm not trying to do it right now. I probably let him play on the 5th year option. I might look at my franchise tag situation after that. If I have a quarterback on a rookie deal, that might be the most prudent way to go about it. Or I might have horrible quarterback play, and he might be my best trade asset at the deadline this year or next year. And investing in him at a time where you have nobody to throw him the ball might not make sense either. I think there's just so many variables at play here. But I do think when healthy, he's still probably the most talented player on this team right now. Maybe this side, maybe Alvin's ahead of him. Maybe I don't know who else is even on that list. DeMario, maybe you mentioned him, Eric McCoy, but he's up there. But I think
he's kind of your best weapon, right? I think we could certainly say that in terms of, at least in the passing game, in the side where he's going to impact. Like he's your best option right now, and so give him the opportunity to go out there and show what he can do. I think the thing that you mentioned that's really important though is the rookie quarterback contract. Is the rookie quarterback contract, and how that can kind of free up some other options down the road.
Yeah, look, and the one thing I don't agree with is I saw a lot of like, well, who else are you going to pay? I don't think you just pay someone because you don't have someone else to pay. Like, I think Chris is absolutely worth a contract. I think, I think he's in the right circumstance. That they should absolutely try to keep him, but the circumstance might not be right. But yeah, I don't say, well, you know what, like we got to pay someone to get the floor. Like, no, just spend what you have to spend, and you can roll over that cap space if it isn't the right one. All right, couple rapid fire ones here coming up. Who is your one guy that you feel like this year, this system can take his game. Just
Ooh,
who's your guy? Who's your blow up guy?
either side of the ball.
Either side of the ball. And I'm
Um,
surprising you here.
no, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm pulling a rabbit out of the hat right now on you.
No, it's all good. I have two. I have one on either side of the ball, so I'm trying to pick which one I think is going to be the biggest benefactor. I'll leave the obvious one. I'll go to one that maybe could see a little bit of a benefit here. But I'm actually watching for Kendre Miller on this one. Running back Kendre Miller. He spent his entire TCU career being a really spectacular inside zone runner, and then moved into a system last year where they ran outside the tackles 69.8% of the time. It wasn't a great fit. Now you're going to an offensive run scheme under Kellen Moore that's going to be inside and out. It's going to be man and zone. And so maybe that ends up kind of helping him in a make or break year for him. So it's a good situation for him, and good timing for him as well. All right, I remember the rapid fire part for the next ones. I promise.
No, it's fine. I'm that guy too. People say rapid fire, and I'll give a 4-minute answer. Was your obvious guy Alontae Taylor?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would have been number one on my list. My like deep cut, probably going to be wrong, egg on the face answer. Like I'm kind of starting to buy into the Juwan Johnson thing again.
Sure,
like I think I do this every year, but he knew Shough forever. Like I think the system helps a little bit. I liked what I saw at the end of last season. I don't feel like Derek Carr was maybe the most tight end friendly quarterback here in this system. It was like as soon as he went out, both those guys kind of started to play a little bit better. So yeah, that would be my guy. Next one.
Yeah.
Like, what's your number one reason for optimism around this team?
Everything's new, everything's different. And so like I think that the best part about critical thinking is that you're never really arguing to land at one point, right? You're arguing an idea, and then you're discussing kind of both sides of it. And so with the idea of like all of the newness around the New Orleans Saints, everything is possible. And for me, that should be reason for optimism for fans that walk in and are looking for something to be hopeful about, right? Fans wanted Dennis Allen gone, he's gone. Fans wanted Derek Carr gone, he's gone. And now all of a sudden, everything is new about this team. So I think the newness is exciting. There's going to have to be some patience attached to it. But I think that to me is the biggest reason for optimism, is that we're watching this team finally try something that it's never tried before.
Chase Young finishes with blank sacks.
I'm going 10.5. I think he's a double-digit sack guy.
That's a big number. All right,
yeah,
you and Tripp. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I'm high on this one, and I know I'm probably a little bit in the minority on it, but I just think that this is like, he was another guy that I was potentially going to mention as like a guy that benefits from the new scheme. I think him as a stand-up, athletic type of pass rusher off the side, which I know isn't going to be like 100% of his responsibilities, but the things that he's going to be able to do, kind of being a little bit more cut loose in Brandon Staley's defense, I think could allow him to get done. All he's got to do is finish plays at the quarterback, right? We've talked about this before, that not all pressures are created equal, right? They're not all the same. And so you got to finish when you get to the quarterback. But I think if he's able to do that, I think this scheme is built to, or he is built to kind of thrive in this system and this scheme with Brandon Staley. And Staley's gotten a lot out of pass rushers in the past, big names and not so big names. And so I'm looking forward to seeing Chase Young this year.
I'm a slight under, but like not like a way under. Like obviously he had a ton of pressure last year. I think the change in coaching and all that stuff. I don't think that we as a group probably talked enough about how much they openly hated the line coach Grantham last year.
Defensive line coach, yeah.
Yeah, like Cam Jordan's comments to Sports Illustrated, like they had that embedded story with him were insane. Like you just don't hear people talk about coaches like that. So that has to be a big change. But yeah, if they cover well, I could see 10.5, but I'm a slight under. Like I'm a little bit pessimistic on things. YouTube tells me that every time we put a video out right now. So,
but then two comments below, you're too optimistic.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes for sure. But yeah, last one, cornerback, nickel package. Kool-Aid's out there, Alontae's out there. Who's the third guy?
I think I might have two different answers depending upon the time of the season, but I'll go with the surprise answer as a whole, and I'm going with rookie Quincy Riley. Yeah. I think Riley is a really talented player. The big thing is going to be, can he catch up after effectively missing the most of like OTAs in minicamp from a participation perspective? He was around, he was with the position group, he was following around, he was doing all these things. So like he was getting all the mental reps in, and he was still doing work. So I don't think he's going to be too terribly far behind. But if he's able to kind of eclipse that sort of gap of participation weeks or days or whatever, I think he can be out there. I think 15 interceptions over the course of his collegiate career. He had the most interceptions amongst all corners in 2025's draft class, 54 pass breakups or passes defended as well. Like, this is a dude that's a ball hawk, and he has played in a match system before. He understands a version of that language. I don't know how different Staley's version is going to be from what he played. And he makes plays at the football. And I think that that's something that this team needs. Last year, they started off with 11 takeaways over the first 8 or 9 games and finished with like 3 takeaways for the rest of the way. Like, they need that takeaway production. And he's a guy I think that can bring that to him. That's going to be hard to keep off the field once he gets there.
Yeah, and I think this season's going to end up at a certain point just being about finding out what you have. And he's definitely somebody 100%. You have to find out what you have. I lied. Last question, because I'm hype about week 0 of the college football season. Leaving that first week, you got Nussmeier and you got Klubnik. Yep. Those are probably the top 2 guys that are quarterback prospects going into the season. After that first week, who do you think is going to have the most hype?
Oh, I think Nussmeier is going to have the most hype.
Okay, all right.
I think LSU needs to get kind of out of the losing the first game of the year slum that they're in, and I think that they have. Everything I've heard is that they have like a real kind of knowledge of that. I mean, I remember the Saints having that too. Like, they could not win early on in the season, and everyone was always frustrated by that. I think that's kind of where LSU is at this point. And so leaving that first week, I'm just expecting a lot of what we're going to see from there. And look, LSU's offense is built with nothing but speed at wide receiver. Feels a little familiar. And so because of that, I think you're going to see a lot of these big plays and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's just the offense is going to be built, and hopefully the performance that you'll see from them too will be built to kind of elevate Garrett Nussmeier a bit. So I think he's going to be all the conversation at the end of that week.
I feel if the Saints don't have a good season, I feel like there's a 90% chance they're drafting somebody from that game. Like the D line is crazy. Like they're 2 quarterbacks. Like, somebody from that game is going to be on the Saints next year, probably. But I appreciate you coming on, man. Make sure you guys are listening to Locked On when you aren't listening to our show. Russ says make it your first listen. I don't care. Listen to them both. Like, just I don't care what order it's in. So it can be first, do them both. But I appreciate you coming on, man.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate all the kind words as well. Pleasure to be here with you. Looking forward to it next time.
The Ochsner Orthopedics Walk-In Clinic is now open. Located at 1201 South Clearview Parkway, across from the Elmwood Shopping Center, this clinic provides convenient same-day care for a variety of orthopedic and sports injuries. No referral or appointment needed. Whether you need care for strains, sprains, fractures, sports injuries, or muscular pain, the team of orthopedic specialists offers care for patients 5 and older. Open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Rouse's Markets is voted best grocery store in New Orleans, best grocery store in Baton Rouge, Mississippi, Gulf Coast, Thibodaux, Houma, Hammond, Lake Charles, Mobile, year after year. Thank you for choosing us best grocery store on the Gulf Coast. Number 1. Thank you.
Thank you.
The number 1 grocery store
In Mississippi, Alabama,
Louisiana. 1 million customers a week can't be wrong. Welcome to Rouse's.
The NewOrleans.Football show is proudly presented by PJ's Coffee. PJ's Coffee has some of the best drinks that you can find. They have locations all over the city. They have pastries and everything else you need to get your day started. So go check them out. Looking for the best insurance coverage at the lowest price? Look no further than Chaubert Insurance, the Earhart Agency. They are a local independent insurance agency right here in New Orleans, specializing in home, flood, and auto insurance. At Chaubert Insurance, the Earhart Agency, their dedicated team will shop every available carrier in the market, ensuring you get the most comprehensive coverage at the lowest possible price. Why settle for less when you can have the best? Trust Chaubert Insurance, the Earhart Agency, to protect what matters most to you. I do. I've been a client of theirs since 2021. Call them today at 504-326-6526 or visit them online at Protected by Chaubert. That's 504-326-6526. Chaubert Insurance, the Earhart Agency, your local insurance experts. Hardhide flavored whiskey, Ponchatoula strawberry, and Chilton County peaches in your favorite bars, stores, and restaurants. Hardhide Chilton County Peach Whiskey is a blend of aged wheat whiskey, light American whiskey, and fresh Chilton County peaches from Alabama's Durbin Family Farms. And Hardhide Strawberry Whiskey tells the story of a small town famous for strawberry farming. A delicious natural strawberry-infused 86-proof whiskey for whiskey lovers. Just look for the red and orange bottles in your favorite stores, bars, and restaurants. This is the farewell tour for B. We got him running the last game of trivia that he's going to host on this show, and he came up with a list of questions for us. B, what do you got?
Man, it's really crazy that this is the last one, but I threw some softball ones in here for y'all just to start off with, just to get both of y'all on the board. But then after that, it's going to ramp up a little bit. So we're getting into our first question presented by Hard High Ponchatoula Strawberry Whiskey. Make sure you check out the Chilton County Peach. Let's do introductions and franchise first. Let's start off with the first question. Whoever just talks first, you have it. I don't want you guys like over there fighting over each other.
Sure.
Wait, hold on. Let's get somebody's eyes on us to judge.
Eyes on them, Adam.
Adam, you judging? You judging who talks
you can judge
first?
And say who hits it first. All right, first question. Easy one. Like I said, we're going to start off easy. Which Saints head coach had the best first-year record?
Jim Haslett, 2000, right?
Best first-year record? I'll go Jim Mora.
Like overall record.
First-year record?
Yes.
It wasn't Haslett?
I say Jim Mora.
No.
Was it Sean Payton?
He had the most successful first year.
Damn.
Did he really?
10-6. They went to the NFC Championship his first year.
Yeah, I mean, I know he went 10-6 his first year.
Where
I
Haslett
thought
goes
Mora
first
came in
year?
hot. Haslett led them to their first ever playoff appearance and playoff win.
He went 10-6.
Let me see what old Jim Mora did in his first year. 7-9, and then 12-3 his second year. Damn.
Let's go to the next question. You all kind of hinted on it. Who was the first quarterback to lead the Saints to the playoffs?
Was that
Aaron Brooks.
Was that Bobby?
That was Bobby Hebert. Aaron Brooks was the first one to get a playoff win.
I misheard the question.
I mean, Mike, it's okay.
You had a false lead in. You said you just alluded to it.
You said,
that's Bobby.
I know.
Check
Nick's
out Bobby,
listening. I'm not listening.
Check out Bobby Hebert, Cajun Cannon Restaurant, the claim to fame. The first
Why didn't
man
you
to take
make
the team
him
to the playoffs, man?
Yeah, why didn't you make that the,
there we go.
the sponsor?
Yeah,
That's a whole nother section, man.
I'm not listening good.
Mike, are you the master of ceremonies or am I?
I'm not listening good. Aaron Brooks led them to their
Mike's
first playoff
lashing out
win.
at B because he's struggling.
It's okay. All right, next one. Who is the Saints' longest tenured player?
Current? Cam Jordan.
Nah, franchise history.
That'd be Cam Jordan, right?
No. They had some...
I think it's Cam Jordan.
All time?
Let's look it up.
Hold on, don't look it up yet. We could still try to get an answer. So Cam has played for, this is going to be his 15th year. So did anyone else have 15 years? Well, Breeze had 15.
There we go.
Oh, that's the answer?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
But it's going to end up being Cam Jordan. But yeah, Drew Brees is the answer.
All right. I got them both anyway. That's a
All
win.
right.
A win for me, baby.
All right.
We're on the board. We're on the board.
All right. Speaking of Drew Brees, who was Drew Brees' first Saints touchdown pass to and
Marcus
his last?
Colston against the Cleveland Browns.
Last one was Traquan Smith.
I mean, y'all are both right.
Oh, I didn't even hear
Y'all
the
didn't
second
even
part
wait
of the
for the
question.
question to
All right.
finish.
It's fair.
He said the last one. Yeah,
All right, yeah.
Traquan made
Good work.
every
Good work.
Traquan made
Yeah.
every big catch.
Yeah, when he broke every record, it was always to Traquan. His last one was to Traquan. I wouldn't have known that. I wouldn't have known that.
Traquan, he's that guy. Mr. Big Moment.
In that playoff game against Tampa, Traquan caught a touchdown pass?
He caught both of them. Caught one from James and he caught one from Drew.
Yeah.
Damn. Good. Way to go, Traquan.
Traquan was that guy. He's in a lot of...
Still in Denver, or did he get kind of bounced?
I don't know where he's at. I don't know where he's at.
All right.
We're going to go into our next segment. Mike, as you alluded to, I kind of should have put this one in here, but it didn't mesh with the theme. So
You
our
didn't want
next
to give it
segment,
up. You didn't want to give up the answer.
That's true, too. The next segment is presented by Bobby Hebert's Cajun Cannon Restaurant. Saints Trivia, the best of times and the worst of times. When was the Saints' first playoff win, and who was it against?
Their first playoff win, the 2000 season against the Rams.
That's it. You got it.
Haslett and Brooks.
You got
Akeem
it.
dropped the ball.
You got it. All right, that was a good time. Now let's go into bad times. What is the Saints' worst franchise loss, and against who?
You mean lopsided score?
Uh-huh.
Nick last year got this right because he remembered the hot dog game, 62-7 over Indianapolis, their biggest franchise win. Their worst loss. I'm wondering they've had bad losses over the years. But the worst, what's the worst one? I mean, it's not the Bills just 3 years ago, is it?
No.
All right. It's an older one.
Yep.
I'm not going to know it.
It's in the 70s.
Oh yeah, no, you got us.
I'll say Niners.
Oh, we're just picking teams.
You
No, we
could-
were
that's
supposed
a-
to
that's
say the
another part
score.
of the
We were supposed
question.
to say the score too. Say-
Just random picking a team.
I'll say 52-3 to the Niners.
Pittsburgh.
No, so it was actually 62-7 against the Falcons in 1973.
Damn, the Falcons did that to him?
Yeah, they got dismantled.
B, you shouldn't have brought that up.
All right, next one. Where did the Saints play their home games following Hurricane Katrina?
Tiger Stadium.
And where else?
And the Alamo Dome.
Okay, that's another point.
And they played one in Giant Stadium.
So
so
Mike, the
it's-
completionist. Got
Yeah, I'm a completionist. I covered that season.
Because it was a multi-part question.
It was rough.
All right, you alluded to this one. What is the Saints' highest scoring game?
Colts 62-7.
That was
All right.
in your trivia last year, bro.
Hey, man.
And I already do I win
That's
because
a point on the board.
do
That's
I
a
win
point
because
on
I
the board.
said it before
No,
you
that's a
even
point.
asked
That's
it?
a
You had
point
to
on the
wait.
board. That's a
You
point
had to
on the
wait.
board,
You added
baby.
language.
That's a point on the
Wow.
board. You aren't the master of ceremonies. Yeah,
Repeating a question from last
Hey,
year
man.
that Nick won.
Stay ready.
Even on your last day, you're still catering to the boss.
Yeah, he knows who writes his checks. That's smart. That's good gameplay. Then.
All right.
Man,
Last
that
one
was
of this bunch.
hurtful.
What is the Saints' all-time record versus the Atlanta Falcons?
Is it? It's tied. 56-56.
God, dog.
Is that the exact right
Yeah.
number?
It is. And the only thing keeping the Falcons in that as a tie is their one playoff win against the Saints. Let's go into famous numbers with different names.
Oh,
Guys,
shoot.
ready?
I'm not good with numbers.
Yeah.
First one. Who is the only player in franchise history to wear this number?
What number?
Archie Manning, 8.
Oh, damn. Nick off the top.
All right. Give me a point,
Wait
baby.
a minute.
Give me a
got it.
point, baby.
I was
well,
waiting
that's
to
Give me
hear
a
a
point.
number.
No,
Yeah,
he's
it was
not
a
trying-
fill in the
he-
blank.
he-
It was
it's
a fill
only-
in the blank.
All right, wait, I got another one. Ugo Amadi, 0. We're
No,
tied.
that's not even true.
Damn. Damn.
That's not even
There's
true.
another 0?
There is. On the list, there is.
I thought we were waiting for a number. Oh, man. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
All
Who is
right.
he?
Huh?
You'll be judged. You'll be
I'll be
judged
judged.
to
all right.
wear this number. I thought we were about to get numbers flashing on the screen.
Who is the best player to
You
wear?
gotta
Wait,
speak-
time out.
What?
You can get a point for answering a question before it gets asked. Then I want my 62-7
I'm not
point.
giving you
That was
retroactive
the
points,
question,
man.
man. That was the question.
Who
You
is
got
the
to speak B.
Who is the best player to wear number 9 before Drew Brees?
9. Doug Nussmeier. I don't know.
You know that's not the answer.
It could be. I don't know what number he wore.
This player,
Jeff Blake.
No, this player played for the Saints twice. He wore a separate number when he came back.
Bobby?
I have no idea. Who
You
is
both
it?
giving up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jake Delhomme.
Oh, okay.
Ah,
He wore 9 in his first stint, and then when he came back, he wore 12.
I didn't know that.
Who was the best player to wear 56 before
Swilling.
DeMario Davis?
Swilling.
Yes. Nick got that. All right. Now we're in all or nothing territory. If you get the answer to this question, you win the entire thing, no matter what was said before then.
What? What have we been doing?
No, this is
All right, all right,
this
all right,
is-
all right,
this
man,
is-
all
This is
right.
like Family
all
Feud.
right, all
This is
right.
like Family Feud round
All right.
3.
this is all or nothing. I'm doing
Except
my own
one of the
Steve Harvey
families
thing. And
dies.
I'm going off script.
All right.
Y'all both ready? Both prepared?
No. How can I be prepared for this?
Just be ready to go. That's all,
All
I'm
right,
saying.
all right.
So we all know that the Saints have 2 mascots, Sir Saint and Gumbo.
Sure.
Who is the Saints' third forgotten about mascot?
I feel like I've heard this once before, but it's not coming to me. Not coming to me. They had a live dog for a little while.
They did have a live dog. For
Is
a
this the
while.
answer, or
That
that's
is not the
that's just the
answer. This is
original Gumbo?
completely other entity.
Rougarou?
No.
Oh.
Would you like to phone a friend? You can phone one of these cats.
Oh, We should try to call Jim Rapier.
Oh, he'll know it.
Jim
He'll
Rapier would
definitely
probably know this. All right,
I'm gonna call DJ.
I'm calling Jim Rapier. Hold on.
Jim is not gonna answer.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the
He
tone,
missed his big
please
chance.
record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Jim, you were my phone a friend, man, and you let me down. I just lost Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, man. All right.
All right,
Are
what was the answer,
you all
B?
ready to concede?
Yeah.
Adam,
what
give
was
him
it?
the answer.
It is Mambo the Jester.
Mambo the Jester.
Mambo the Jester was only around for, I think, partially one season. Then he was thrown in the closet and relegated to New Orleans Voodoo Games, where he made a second appearance. All right, we're gonna hit a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll have more show. Keep it locked to NewOrleans.Football.
I got hurt in a car wreck. Why should I get Gordon?
Because when you're hurt, you need money. And I fight for the people of Southeast Louisiana every day. I got a client who injured their neck in a car wreck, $250,000. Another client was hit by a big truck and needed back surgery. I got them $700,000, and they deserved every single penny.
That's what I'm talking about. Why wouldn't I get Gordon?
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, just call me, New Orleans. Get it done.
Call 504-800-8888.
Bobby Hebert's Cajun Cannon Restaurant dropped some new apps, and they nailed every single one. The Southwest Chicken Egg Rolls, crispy, packed with flavor, and the avocado ranch seals the deal. Crab claws in a creamy Cajun sauce? Don't forget the French bread. And the fried chicken cracklings? Crunchy, sweet heat. You'll want your own plate. Open 7 days a week, and yep, they deliver late. Bobby Hebert's Cajun Cannon Restaurant. Delicious food, superior service. Attention Saints fans, don't let pests and termites invade your home field. Trust the team at Red Pest Solutions to tackle those unwelcome visitors. Call the Red Man today for unbeatable pest and termite control. Score peace with no pest. Visit redpest.com, REDDPEST.com.
Welcome to the Queen Casino, where entertainment meets unparalleled customer service. From our days on the water to our new land experience overlooking the Mississippi River, our dedicated staff is here to ensure your visit is nothing short of exceptional. Whether you are coming or going, our well-lit parking lot and security team provide guests with red carpet treatment. Our security team keeps watch so you can focus on fun and fortune. From table to table, our attentive staff is here to serve up the ultimate experience. Join us at the Queen Casino. Your royal adventure awaits.
Welcome back for more NewOrleans.Football. It is now time for the Get Gordon question of the day, presented by Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Today's question is, who is the most likely trade candidate during camp?
It's a good question. I mean, there's a few people, and I think you have to start looking at guys that maybe don't meet their potential that could have value somewhere else, or maybe older players that they don't see being on the team going forward. I don't know that they're going to cut bait early on anybody that early. So it goes down to, like, who are the people with value potentially somewhere else that might not make this team? And I think there's a few people that fit into that. I hate to keep going to him, but I feel like Penning would be a guy that would be on that list. If you don't see him being on your team and you aren't extending him, you might cut bait to go to somebody younger, developmental, Torricelli, Simpkins, whatever. He could be somebody that could be on that list. Ike Yadam, maybe, if you decide he's not going to be starting for you at corner.
Yeah, that's
Quincy
the kind
Riley.
of guy.
Yeah.
Adam was talking about the C.J. Gardner-Johnson situation, and I don't think there's anyone whose contract is going to force that this year. Alante Taylor and Rashid Shaheed are two guys I think they might talk contract with, but not to the point
They're
where
gonna act out in
there'd be a
camp.
stalemate. I think Demario Davis and Tyrann Mathieu are guys who might have value to another team, but I feel like that's more of a trade deadline move. So I think it's more of remember when the Saints just traded for John Ridgeway? Hey, he's still a good young player who belongs in this league. We just don't have room for him on our team. So I'm going to go defensive tackle. Feels like the position for me because you've got Colin Saunders, Nathan Shepard, Jonah Williams, Brian Brzee, Ridgeway, just signed Vernon Broughton, Christian Boyd. So if somebody wants Ridgeway, Christian Boyd, Nathan Shepard, Colin Saunders,
Yep.
those guys are too good to cut. Maybe you get a 7th round pick for. That's where you've got overage on this team. That's the position I'm looking at.
Yeah, it's guys that might get cut. If Yadam's not starting, then you might want to get rid of him. Penning, if you're done with him. Bub Means could be someone that could potentially get traded for like a 7th round pick or something like that, like a guy like that that's not making your team. There's a few of them out there.
I'll go Colin Saunders. Just like room for him somewhere else if someone else needs the nose that they don't have or something like that. I don't know.
I can see anything's possible at this point. Like these coaches didn't sign any of these guys.
Yeah, it's true.
Like anything
That's a
could
really
really
good
happen.
point.
Yeah. That's going to do it for today's show. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll talk to you next time.